Hello everyone, what's up and welcome to the Shine Raigeki channel. Now today I'm going to go through my Magician Pendulum deck. Now lately I've been having camera issues. I only have one camera and when I'm recording there's no sound, or the sound just cuts out midway in between. Something goes wrong. That is why I haven't been posting any videos. Also, I'd like to talk about my performance at a tournament not too long ago. Unfortunately I changed the deck after, but I'll tell you the changes. It's just very small amount. Now the tournament, I went very well, went all the way to finals and lost it. I'm kind of depressed about it because I thought I would win, and I don't mean in finals. I thought I'd win like the day before. However, things just didn't work out in my favor. But end of the day, at least I was the one who pulled the Minerva and Crystal Wing, so I can't really be that upset. So let's start the deck profile. First one up, triple Astrograph Magician. Now, as always, I go through my videos and describe every card and tell you what they do in full detail. Now, one thing is that they changed the name on this card. It was not Astrograph Sorcerer, it was Astrograph Magician. However, because Konami think it would be too broken, being easily searched, and just straight up stupid, they changed its name. Now, let me go through the effects. It's unique in the terms of it's a level 7 with 2/5 attack and 2000 defense, which is all generic protagonist cards. But this card is actually a bad guy card, so the logic. Anyways, it's a scale 1. You play very few. In scale, he does nothing because I do not play a Stargazer. You shouldn't either. In the monster zone, the monster effect is that if a card you control is destroyed, you can special summon it and search a card that was destroyed this turn. This includes your opponent as well, in case you did not know. Also, it can search from Banish, Graveyard, or Face Up Extra Deck. As long as it was destroyed this turn, you can search for a next copy. Now, the next effect is that when it's on the field, you can banish it and other is Pendulum Dragon, Dark Rebellion Exceed, Clearwing Synchro Dragon, and Starving Venom Dragon to fusion summon your Supreme King Zark. However, you do not play those in the deck, but the new magicians copy their names, so you can substitute them. So the first one up, triple double Iris Magician. Cosplay for odd eyes. All their effects are linked to the dragons. Example, this monster scale effect is that once per turn I can target a dark spellcaster monster and it can do double damage this turn, then destroy this. Others does double damage. That is why it gives the monster double damage effect. And then the monster effect on this is when it is destroyed, it can search for a Pendulumgraph card from your deck to your hand, which is a next reference to Others that searches. It's a scale 8, very good scale 8. Next up, 2 Black Fang, one of the best cards in the deck. And if you're wondering why I'm playing 2, it's so good it doesn't make sense you play 3. In the scale, you can have your opponent monsters, one of them, and destroy it. When this card is destroyed, it can special summon a monster from your graveyard, a dark spellcaster. Now, he's very good in terms of he helps the deck float. Between him and Astrograph, you cannot get attack for game quite easily. They have to go through all of them. Most likely 7 attacks to finish you off. Now, if you're pendulum summoning and you suspect some type of destruction effect, you should always pendulum summon this card and any other of your magicians that can be pulled back. The reason being, if you solemn any of these magicians, they get effect. So you don't really want to just special summon, say, this card and the next card. No, they don't really float like that. If you put in a Black Fang, however, if they solemn it, you get pulled back. And if they solemn this, you get a search. So it's just a plus. Just make sure you try to put in a Black Fang and a Purple Poison. Next one up, 2 White Wing Magician. It's the worst out of all of them. You have to play 2 just because of the name. And I do play Luster Pendulum, so I want to destroy and search. And it doesn't do anything other than that. It doesn't have a monster effect. Don't let it trick you. The monster effect on it is to banish itself if you Pendulum summon and Synchro with it. So it's not good. Triple Purple Poison Magician, one of the best cards in the deck. If it's destroyed, destroy a card on the field, a face-up card on the field of your choice. And it's optional. so you don't really have to destroy your own cards. Also, the scale effect is that once per turn, if you attack or get attacked with a dark spellcaster, you can increase its attack by 1200 and destroy this card. And when you do that, it will trigger the monster effect, which will destroy a card. So it's very easy to plus up with this card. Next, 2 Harmonizing Magician. You genuinely don't need more than 2. I don't really think you want to draw 3 because you can only activate one of the effect for the turn. And you don't want it in scale because you have other magicians that have better effects in the scale. The effect on the card is that when it's in the pendulum zone, all your magicians gain 100. Sorry, all your monsters gain 100 for each different magician with a different name in your face-up extra deck. Now this can range you from up to 500 or 100. The attack doesn't matter because a lot of 2500 monsters run around unless you're playing dinosaurs. Then it won't matter. The monster effect is that when it is pendulum summon from the hand, it cannot be pendulum summon from the extra deck, however. You can special summon any magician monster from your deck in defense position. But if this card leaves the field, banish it. So most likely you'll need to exceed someone with it. Next one up, Triple Wisdom Eye. Old classic, everyone should know. In the scale, if you have an X magician in there, you can destroy it and put any magician card in the zone. Very good card, helps you to unbrick, helps with every situation. Oaf, while in the zone, he adds back a face-up magician from your face-up extra deck or odd eyes, which you don't play. And when he's summoned, he can add them from your graveyard to your hand. Very simple effects. Next one up, Triple Performapal Joker. Normal summon, search for every card in your deck except for Astrograph and Star Pendulum. Very good card. Then 2 Pendulum Sorcerer. You have to play him because majority of the time going first, this card cannot trigger first turn because there's no, you don't have a battle phase first turn, so you can't destroy him and take a search. So you need a card to destroy your own cards, and Sorcerer does the job. Now Sorcerer can search for Joker and all that is Dissolver. Now I didn't have Dissolver in the tournament. I had Trump Girl. It does change how some of the games played out. It would have been better for me, not worse. And I didn't lose a duel because of it, so it doesn't really change much. However, Dissolver is a new card. I'll go through it. If he's in the zone, you can fusion summon 1 Dragon Fusion monster using monsters you control or in your hand as fusion material. So it's basically a polymerization, but he can only go for a few cards. He cannot go for Vortex because he's the only other is in the deck, so he can only go for Starving Venom. And even at the end of the day, Starving Venom is not a bad card because if he dies, he bombs your opponent inside of the field and destroy all their monsters that was special summoned. Last up is Luster. Now Luster, destroy, search for next copy. Not that important until you're going first and you want to find a double Iris Magician so you can combo off. And that's it for all your monsters in the deck. Next one up, we have spells. Triple Star Pendulumgraph, Triple Pendulum Call, Double Duelist Alliance. If you don't know what they do, if a magician leaves the field, search for any magician from my deck, Pen Call, discard a card, search for 2 magicians, Alliance. It searches for any pendulum card that has pendulum in its name. So it can search for my Luster Pendulum, Stargraph because it has Pendulumgraph in its name. You can search for Performapal Pendulum Magician, and also you can search for Double Iris Magician. The reason why Double Iris Magician can be searched is its monster effect. It's always treated as a Pendulum Dragon card in its name, so it's an odd eyes Pendulum Dragon essentially without the odd eyes, so it can be searched. And last for the staples, we have double Mystical Space Typhoon and 1 Raigeki. Just for interchangeable cards, they're just good cards. And you have to play Typhoon. Don't think you can play Cosmic Cyclone, because if you go first and you have the Iris Magician, you're definitely going to want to Typhoon it. You can't banish your own card, that doesn't make any sense. And that rounds it up for all the spell cards. The traps, just 3 Time Pendulumgraph. I did not need more than that. I didn't need Solemn. There's never a situation that came up that I would prefer to have Solemn. This card did exactly what I needed it to do. And it is searchable. Next one up is the extra deck. First one up we have Oda is Vortex Dragon. Negate a card, and when you special summon, return back a face up attack position monster on my opponent's side of the field to their hand. Starving Venom Vortex. Fusion Dragon. When it is fusion summon, gain the attack of one special summon monster my opponent controls. It does not target. And the second effect is that I can target one face-up monster my opponent controls that is level 5 or higher, and this effect becomes that monster's effect. Now, you can use this very clutch against the dinosaur deck, being able to steal their Tyranna Conductor effect and their attack, so it becomes 6,200, and you're able to attack all of your opponent monsters, also being able to book of move them. Now, the last effect on this card is if it is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can destroy all special summon monsters my opponent controls, which is the next good effect. Then we have Gatlinghoul, Mr. OTK Master himself. Now this card is just always ridiculous, so funny, and I have to play a copy just because of how it is. Fusion summon it. 1. This is all one effect. I can inflict 200 damage per card on the field to my opponent. 2. Destroy a monster my opponent control. Does not target. 3. Do damage to your opponent equal to the destroyed monster's original attack. And 4. After all this, it can still attack. It does so damn much. This card I always attack for game with it. It's ridiculous. It does near 6,000 damage on its own. Then we have Supreme Dragon King Zark. They changed its name, by the way. They took out Dragon King out of it. Don't know why. Well, the scale effect is not that important, but I'll explain it anyways. Fusion, Synchro, and exceeds monsters my opponent controls. Their effects cannot be activated. Once per turn, if my opponent adds a card from their deck to the hand, except during the draw phase, and the damage step, I can destroy all the cards that were added. It doesn't come up often because due to its other effect, it's actually really hard to kill. A 4,000 attack, 4,000 defense. It cannot be targeted, and it cannot be destroyed by card effects. That means someone have to go for Utopia to kick it off at 5,000. Also, even if they do that, it does not go to scale because of Utopia. So the scale effect rarely comes up. The only out which is a Kaiju, and when you Kaiju it, it does not go to scale. So it's really hard to get over. And those are the only 2 cards that are meta that goes around it. Next one up, we have the Synchros. We have Iggy Azalea, Scrappy-Doo, Stardust Dragon, and Enlightenment Paladin. I think all these are self-explanatory. Next one up, Exceeds Dweller for graveyard effect decks, Castell, 2 times Star Magician, Dank Rebellion, and for your 2 level 7 we have Big Eye and Absolute. Absolute is just here because he's generic and he can pull back your Vortex. Also, if there's no Vortex in the grave and this dies, it summons Vortex. So it's just free. Gives you 3 pluses and advantage. So last one up we have is a side deck. Denko Seko. I only own 1. I would play more, and I pulled it out of the boosters. Originally I was playing Chaos Hunter to help me against the dinosaurs, which didn't really come into play because I didn't end up playing in dinosaur. Triple Flying Sea. I lost because of this. I played 3 Flying Sea and didn't draw 1 in the Zodiac matchup, which was the finals. 1 Trap Eater. Didn't draw him, didn't need him. 2 Consecrated Light. Didn't draw him, didn't need him. Actually, didn't draw any of my side cards throughout the tournament. 1 Typhoon. 1 Pendulum Call because it can be searched by Duelist Alliance and just set it for a mirror match. Triple Mirror Force. Side them in, didn't draw them. Decree, didn't have to side them at all because I didn't end up playing any Paleozoics. So alright, thanks for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe. Tell me your point of view on the deck, anything you'd like to see, and my Facebook page is down below in the description. So everyone have a nice day, and I'm out. Peace.